Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I am wanted to show you this because XRP is up 8%. We're at $1.40. We've got some stuff cooking right now. And it's $1.39. Anyway, it just touched $1.40, up around 8%. And I want to show you what BitBoy had to say on his little drive this morning. Watch this.
What the powers that be, the financial cartel, they know the banks are all going to adopt XRP. They know this will come to pass. You guys have been watching the channel. We've been talking about it a lot, right? But anything under $1.30 right now, they're considering to be a good price point. So the financial cartel has been stacking buys around $1.30, between $1.20 and $1.30, trying to accumulate as much as they possibly can before the price goes parabolic later this month when the SEC lawsuit is over, which, by the way, the SEC has filed the request to deny Ripple Labs' request to show the SEC all of the holdings of the actual employees of the SEC, which this is the death sentence here. This is the death sentence for the SEC lawsuit. This thing is over. This is the key settlement point, because if it comes out that the SEC members have been trading XRP while calling it a security, well, that is going to blow up in their face big time, and they're going to want that sealed. This is the sticking point. The judge is going to honor that request. XRP is going to immediately, the SEC is going to immediately settle. So this is going to be over soon. That's going to happen later this month. However, even though Bitcoin is going up, financial cartel has been pushing XRP down to keep it in their accumulation zone. Well, there's people out there fighting the financial cartel, and those people had to make sure that XRP got over the $1.30 price point, so now it is no longer in a key zone for the financial cartel to accumulate. By the end of the month, people are going to look back and say, God, he told you. He told you it was coming. And I'm really excited about the price of XRP. I mean, this is the millionaire maker coin right now. This is your last chance to get in. But once this price gets about $2, $3, it's going to be hard to justify telling people to continue buying in because the returns are going to get smaller and smaller as we talk.
All right, very interesting. And John Deaton had tweeted this out. He was retweeting my video, and he says, how many employees of the SEC owned Bitcoin, Ethereum, or XRP from 2013 to 12/22/20? Did any lawyers working in SEC Enforcement Division own XRP at any time before or after 12/22/20? Did any of the commissioners own XRP at any time before 12/22/20? I think John Deaton is right over the target, and he knows it. Now, I spent this morning finding tons of video. When you watch Joseph, one thing I've learned from watching Joseph Lubin, who's one of the co-founders of Ethereum, he's always talking, every time he talks about what his thoughts are on the Bill Hinman speech, he proceeds to talk for a minute or two, and then just about everything he said that Ethereum in his things that can make something a security is exactly what Ethereum did in their ICO. It's like you're in the twilight zone, and this guy is telling you, hey, well, we're not a security because we didn't do this. And the irony is, they're the exact ones that did everything he's itemizing. And he always talks, and every time he talks, he looks like he's so uncomfortable, because he should be. Because this guy's not dumb. He knows that what he's saying is a crock. Listen to this.
Nobody at the SEC wants to kill blockchain for America. So they also want to enforce the laws that they've been enforcing effectively for decades, protecting consumers. So they need to take a balanced approach. They need to message things positively, in my opinion. But there's also, I think, going to be even more of a reckoning coming where certain projects obviously sold securities and sold them contrary to securities law.
Clayton made it clear.
So I didn't do anything, but those people did something wrong, and somehow he knows that they're about to crack down on him, right? We didn't do anything. I mean, we just did an ICO, but it wasn't a security, no. But those guys, they're going to crack down on them.
Nobody was going to be grandfathered.
Yeah, absolutely. So Jay Clayton said that. Bill Hinman, director of corporate finance at the SEC, after they declared Bitcoin sufficiently decentralized so that it's not a security and put Ether in that category as well, the token on Ethereum. In that same set of remarks about Ether, he indicated that the SEC is very aware that there is a new model.
All right, now he's going to tell you about that new model. If I can hit the refresh button.
Companies can, I can invest in a company and it can create value for consumers, and I can rely on that company for return on investment. That's a security, but there's a new way of organizing for collective action that has these people or companies in different roles that can deliver value in the form of services and products to some kind of consumer, and I may make a monetary purchase of a consumer utility token, but I'm also participating in creating the value of that network. So by my agency in that, I'm relying on myself and many others to create that value. And if there's a return on value because there's a lot of demand for that network and therefore demand for the token, then the token price is going to rise. And hopefully that's because we've all created a system that we are gaining value from. And so that is considered, you can architect that token properly, but if you market it incorrectly, that can be considered a security. If you market it in enormous quantities to speculator types and you give them big discounts, you put billboards in Times Square, leading people to believe that there's a group that they're relying on for a return of investment, that's going to be considered a security. But if you don't do those things, if you essentially...
By the way, he did both of those things with his ICO.
Force people to understand what they're buying and force people to pledge or otherwise constrain them to actually use the token in the system, and you don't advertise to speculators, etc., then you have a clean consumer utility token.
You don't advertise to speculators. I'm going to take you to what I showed you in my last video down here. This would be this is called advertising to speculators, Joe. This is where Ethereum was on Facebook, which is what he said would be a security if you were advertising on Facebook. The Ether sale has now started. Just wanted to point that out to you. Okay, I'm going back. Okay, now I wanted to show you this clip. Listen to this. He's telling you that they've never, I think in this clip he says basically that Ethereum and Bitcoin, they don't have to be under any kind of regulations.
So if it's transformed into this consumer network, right, and if it's an asset of consumer utility that you said, the new asset, should it be also regulated, or just you feel like the regulator's not really sure about how to approach this new type of asset?
So it is regulated in a sense. There are laws in lots of countries. There are money transmission laws, KYC, AML. This kind of activity does not currently fall under any specific detailed requirement for regulation or guidance. And so unless it's operating, say, in the pharmaceutical industry or something like that,
Listen to what he said again.
Does not currently fall under any specific detailed requirement for regulation or guidance.
Does not fall under any requirement for regulation or guidance. Not Ethereum, according to him.
And so unless it's operating, say, in the pharmaceutical industry or something like that, there doesn't seem to be any reason to regulate it any more than you would regulate a bowling club or something like that.
That is absurd. Now, here he says that the Ether token has never been a security. So He's being
What about
even
the
more
recent
bold.
SEC hearing establishing the Ethereum as not a security?
So it wasn't a hearing. Bill Hinman just delivering a talk at a San Francisco event.
And so, how did you feel about that? Where you feel stressed about what might happen if it were established as a security?
We were extremely confident that it would never be seen to be a security. We did a huge amount of legal work, about 7 months of legal work, back in 2014 before we launched the Ether token launch. So we're confident that it never was a security. The sale did not constitute the sale of an unregistered security to Americans, and we're confident that the Ether token has never been a security. We understood the ramifications. If they declared it a token, then there'd be some issues around where the Ether token could trade, but the ecosystem's already so enormous, established, decentralized, that you can't really stop that sort of thing. There would have had to have been some adjustments. But we also been talking to regulators around the world for a long time, and the SEC knows what they're talking about. We were confident that they would understand how we test maps onto this particular instrument and how the nature of the decentralized ecosystem ramifies on their decisions. And so,
okay, and then finally there's this. If I can hit the refresh button. I don't think I did any overlap.
What was even more exciting about what Director Hinman said was that I think they sort of consider Ether to be in a new class of tokens, consumer utility tokens, that essentially enable this new networked business model to be pioneered. So a different way of humans organizing for collective commercial action, where I'm not necessarily making an investment and relying on a third party to increase the value of my investment. I am buying something, a utility, and participating in a network of activity. I'm adding value to that network of activity, and if we together create this protocol-based open platform, and we're building a whole lot of those things at our company Consensus, and it is held together logically by a token that has certain characteristics on that platform, none of which constitute securities, then if that token or if the network itself gets utilized heavily, then supply and demand will cause that network to become much more valuable. So if we're all contributing in our different roles to that network business model, we can all make it more valuable together.
Okay, I want to ask the questions again. Why did the SEC give Ethereum a free pass? Who reviewed and helped write the Hinman speech? Who was on the 63 emails that went around about the Hinman speech? Where's Hinman's public calendar? Who at the SEC owned Ethereum on June 13th, 2018? And what else did they own from 2013 on? Great questions, and I want to repeat. I'm not against Ethereum. I want Ethereum to do well. I own Ethereum. I want XRP to do well. I just want there to be a level playing field. And this was an intentional creation of a non-level playing field. Trust me on that one. That's all we want. But this whole thing stinks. In this farce, I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family to tell them to end this farce, because it's a farce and everybody knows it. Thanks for listening.